Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. Welcome to episode 23 of the Keepers of the Flame League here on Ruthless SSF. It has been far too long since I have played Ice Trap of Hollowness. I mean, just look at this. Look where my cursor is, and just everything just dies. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't like how this skill looks, and if you've played it and you don't enjoy it, I totally understand that you are very different from me. I am curious why you don't like it, but I love this skill. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. It's just such a unique character. And unique in the sense of, like, I don't know, I mean, how many characters let you just throw, like, an ice bomb that blows up everything? I guess there's Frost Bomb, but we don't talk about that skill. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you near the end. It's kind of nice just, like, mapping and not really having a goal or, like, a mission in mind, because it kind of feels like you're not being pushed forward in a way that you're not allowed to stop. I don't know, you just get to play. I don't know if I'm really explaining this very well, but it just feels like when I'm playing this character, I get to just actually enjoy and play the game and not focus so much on like what my next objective is. It's just very relaxing and comforting. And like I said, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but anyway, I'm loving this character. Later on, probably once I level up, I'm gonna go try pushing higher tier maps. Like this character definitely has the damage for it. Oh my god, that is a ring. Uh, I just randomly threw an alcohol. That's pretty good. But I definitely have the damage for higher tier maps, but I'm just way too squishy. My evasion is pretty terrible, and my energy shield. Actually, you know what? My energy shield could be a lot worse. It's not good, obviously, but considering my gear is atrocious, it's really not that bad. I have been getting a lot of forts lately, which is pretty awesome. And I got another opal. Will it be +4? No. It's only now coming to my attention that I don't have skitter bots, which is normally like one of those things I require the character to have before I rule traps or mines. And I gotta say, I'm not really noticing like not having it. Like obviously, if I get skitter bots, I'll definitely notice the damage it'll give me. But it's really not like hurting me at all. You know, I'm still clearing everything and nothing's killing me. So, I mean, yeah, if I get one, I'll be happy. But hey, I guess I don't need one. If I was playing a character that like didn't have any like cool killing effects. Like I mean my screen is literally exploding with ice all the time. If I was just playing something like I don't know, like my flame totem character for example, I definitely understand why the breaches are less interesting. But for me, like standing here and throwing traps and killing like an endless horde of enemies makes me pretty happy. Now, I don't really pay attention too much. You know, the hardest part about doing these hives for this character is sometimes holding Q makes my finger a little numb, so I have to like switch fingers or whatever. But other than that, you know, it's pretty simple. Every once in a while, I'll like click on a random thing or I'll click on this, but I don't really have to pay attention. It's a good time. And at the end, we get a lot of money. This character does forts so well, it's actually insane. Like, you know, like you just saw, you know, I'm just standing there, I hold one button, I barely pay attention. It's just fantastic. The AoE is incredible. Chilling and freezing enemies always feels good, pretty much no matter what you're doing. My tree hasn't been very good, but I mean, I got one keepable thing, which is fair. I think it's been long enough in the league, I can finally talk about the mass identification change they added to the game, where now you can just like talk to Lily or whoever to fully identify all your gear. I think it's definitely a positive change. I do kind of like that, you know, we still have scrolls, so it's like if you're in a map and you drop like, you know, a unique or a jewel or a piece of jewelry that you're like, oh, this might actually be good, you can still do that instant speed in the map if you want to. But like now you can just like go after your map, go to your vendor, ID everything at once, and then sell it all is really nice. I've never like really enjoyed the concept of having items drop fully identified. It's just I don't know. It's not the same experience for me because it just changes the dynamic of looting and mapping in general. I say mapping as a broad strokes term for like whatever end game an ARPG has, which obviously mapping, in my opinion, is the best one I've ever seen in ARPG, but that is very subjective. But overall, I think it's a very good change. I hope they keep things the way they are right now, where stuff still drops. Like, imagine if all this was identified. Like, you have to take the time to actually ID stuff if you want to see if it's good. Instead of just like, oh, if there's just happens to be an item on the ground with like 6 tier 1 mods, I'd know to just pick it up. I don't know. I've always liked that dynamic. I think it's very good. Mass identifying is fine with me. I still like that there's scrolls. Portal scrolls, I'm still on the fence about. I don't know. I don't think it really needs a change. I understand some people don't like the scrolls, period, but I think they're fine. It would be really nice to get some more like damage on this character, like use two or sorry, use two ones. But at the same time, I'm kind of really enjoying not dying. Like, hey, Sky Report. Like, yeah, obviously if I use two wands, my damage would be so much better. But I would, and you know what? I would even consider doing that if I was res capped without the shield. The big problem right now is I actually need the shield to be res capped, which is pretty awkward. And I don't know what it is about this boss, but I have such a hard time finding that like hit spot, sweet spot for this skill because like you need to throw the traps in a very specific spot to actually like hit stuff. And I don't know what it is about that boss, but I struggle to find that. Anyway, that random scouting report I used actually got me a unique map I needed, which is fantastic. Plus 1 point for my Atlas tree. I believe I need 6 more unique maps. It might be 7, which, considering how busy I've been this league, is pretty damn good. Very happy about that. Tree is giving me some money, which is always nice. My boats have been kind of chill. It's kind of crazy I still haven't found a pirate yet. I mean, I don't know how many boats I've sent out, but not getting one is pretty crazy. I did get my very first unique tincture. I had no idea what it was. Took me a while to figure out what the hell I was reading. But I mean, it doesn't seem very good. I mean, I'm probably wrong. I'm sure there's some crazy build out there that would love it. But for the things I want to play, that tincture seems pretty bad. Anyway, I'm trying some tier 16s out just to see what it feels like. And honestly, my damage still feels great. It's just if the like the map rules a damage mod, I'll get murdered. Is that a witchfire? It is a witchfire. Probably a mistake to do this when I'm at 88% XP, but I kind of just want to try doing like, you know, some tier 16s, especially trying to do a memory map. Granted, it's not like a really difficult rolled one or anything like that. And we got a fort, so we'll see if I fail it. I don't know, like, I mean, my defenses aren't going to get that much better until I get gear. Like, I can't really fix that with just my tree alone. So I'm kind of leaning towards the school of thought of, like, you know, just kind of dropping some of the last couple defensive nodes I got and maybe just going for Heart of Ice like I originally planned, just to get a bunch more damage. Because without getting, like, you know, good evasion or good ES, or sorry, good, yeah, energy shield, I don't really think I can make this character more defensive than it is already. I mean, I could maybe see, like, taking a few block nodes that might make mapping feel a little bit safer, but I think ultimately it's not going to make enough difference. I should just go for damage, but we'll see. Anyway, let's see if I fail this fortress. I hit level 84 while just killing the stuff, and honestly, the fortress was just as easy as always. Again, the only difference is there are some things that might kill me, and at the very end, I got one-tapped, and I was very depressed, not gonna lie to you. I still got a lot of loot, you know, that's cool. I got a support gem, I got, you know, some random trash. I would have gotten a hell of a lot more, though. I mean, I was literally right at the exit. Maybe I just like should have stopped throwing traps and just bolted. But I don't even know what killed me. Did the wave one-shot me, or was it the stupid rare? I'm pretty sure it was the wave, but I could be wrong. But anyway, it was a pretty long escape path, so maybe because it was so long, the wave was doing crazy damage. I don't know, but dying there, it was pretty sad. Anyway, I got a Battle Scout report, which is always nice. You can't complain when that pops up. And during this map, I actually spawned the, thanks to the overloaded circuits, like the extra, like, 6 exiles or whatever it is, which was kind of scary because I was trying not to waste any portals before I fought the boss. And I will tell you, my AoE for this fight feels really good, and considering I'm I died. Considering I'm using a one-hander, my damage feels pretty nice, and I have no skitter bots. But as you saw, sometimes I just get one shot, and that's a gear issue. Even though this isn't like super efficient, I'm missing a lot of like scarabs I'd like to use. I just alked a few maps, put them to 20% quality. I'm going to use a few of these scarabs, try to get some guardians. At some point, I'd like to take a little break from this character, switch back to the totem build, and try to do some guardians, try to get a shaper, and see how that character does with that. But if I don't get any, I'm just going to keep farming on this character. My goal is still the same. I'm really just trying to get gear, and mostly gems, honestly, not even as much as gear. But obviously, we want both. The map was pretty scary. It was very rippy, but I didn't die. I did end up dying once at the very end of the map, which made me feel kind of sad. But, you know, I killed the map boss, no problem. Got some maps in return. And it's kind of nice to play a trapper that rarely dies. I mean, like I just said, I did die in this map. It was actually a charging Roa with extra chaos damage. It killed me so fast, I didn't even have time to scream. It was a bad time. Well, anyway, doing breaches are still fine. I have no issue. It's kind of funny because now that I'm paying attention, I don't always kill the rares as quickly as I'm thinking, but I do very often just freeze them, and sometimes freezing them is good enough. I did end up dropping one Guardian map from my Scarabs, which is kind of sad when you think about it, but to be fair, I didn't juice it up that much. I got yet another Arcanist brand. I believe we're up to like 4 or maybe even 5 at this point, which is pretty ridiculous. I dropped the Minotaur, but I don't know if that came from the Scarab. I think it was just the boss drop. But either way, I technically got 2 Guardians. I was talking to Wibbers in chat, and I'm gonna blame my death on him. Yep, that one's on you. The luck of getting random jewels when I unspec Delirium continues. I ended up alking this one, and you know what? If I ever get Hatred, I'm probably going to use that jewel. Like, I'm not saying it's the most optimal thing in the world, but for 3 points, getting 6 mana reservation efficiency, attributes, and hatred reduction is pretty good. Hey, mates, for the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am level 84, 20% of the way to 85. And if you saw that cluster jewel, you already know what I'm dreaming of. If I ever drop a hatred, I can just slot it in right here. And for 3 total points, I can get 6% mana reservation, I can get a huge reduction to hatred, and I can get a little bit of attributes, which his character really does need. Obviously, it's a pretty big dream, and I will say this jewel is actually pretty insane. But I mean, I could always like replace this jewel socket eventually once I actually get res gear, because the only reason I'm wearing this is I'm not res capped without it, as you can see. Yeah, just barely, dude, just barely. I mean, this ring right here is ridiculous, but like, it doesn't have the exact res I need on it. But I mean, hey, I mean, look at that ring. Life, mana, rarity, and double res on an amethyst. I will not be complaining about that. Speaking of gear, at some point, I think in this character's life, I'll be dual wielding wands instead of using a shield. But for right now, like I just talked about, I have no res on like anything. I did end up putting some annoyance on my gear, which is pretty nice. I mean, I don't know why I said annoyance, but you know what I mean. A little bit of LE weakness curse, which does literally nothing for me, so I'm going to roll over that one. Cold damage pen is pretty nice, but eventually will be useless for me. But for now, it's the tiny bit of damage. I did get Fizz taken as lightning, which normally is pretty scary to do, but we do have Tempest Shield, so I can't be shocked anyway, so it's really not a big deal. My gloves or whatever, I think, like, honestly, I think I've underestimated Immortal Flesh, at least when it comes to Saboteur, because I think every single time I've played a Trapper or a Miner, I always say the same thing. During really big, long boss fights, the thing that kills me is I run out of life flask, and there's no way for me to recover health, and I just die. Now, granted, Immortal Flesh isn't gonna, like, be crazy regen and save me from dying, but when you combine that with Pyromaniac, it's actually really good regen. It puts me to like 600 or something, which is pretty nice, especially considering normally it's only like 2 or 300. And let me tell you, as someone that has played a lot of trap characters, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the most optimal route or the best route, but on Ruthless SSF, it feels pretty amazing. My amulet would eventually, if I get really lucky, I'd like to use the Halison or whatever. I haven't like POB'd it or anything. I don't even know if it's actually better than this amulet because now that I'm looking at it, this amulet's actually pretty damn good. It's sad it has no resist on it, but cold damage, like literally perfect global crit multi. My God, it even has percent ES on it, which is pretty funny. It's not doing that much for me right now because I don't have that much ES, but now, like, the longer I look at this ambulance, this ambulance kind of insane, actually. I mean, it even has mana regen. Uh, okay, now that I think about it, I think I'm gonna stop. Oh, I think I'm gonna change my tree. I don't think I'm going to go for Halcyon anymore. This ambulance kind of crazy. I do have some Guardians saved up. I even have like a memory guard in here. I do plan on juicing these up and doing them on the totem character. This guy's like, he could do them, but it's nowhere near as clean. And I don't know, it's for me personally, as the league goes on, I've talked about this in the past, but if you're new here, the way I see every single build is like, it's a part of my whole economy on Ruthless SSF. So like, for example, this character is really good at going through maps quickly, getting me a lot of currency, trying to get me a lot of gems. I mean, already it's got me like 20 support gems. And the Flame Totem character is really nice for just relaxed bossing. It's not the highest DPS in the world, but it's very simple, very tanky, and I can just like turn my brain off and just relax, kill some guardians, go back to this character, watch the world explode into ice. Now, I do want to talk about the reroll because yes, we did just reroll this, but I have to tell you, like I have dropped some support gems I've been looking for a while. I am so close to another reroll. I'm talking so close. This character is gonna be like on the back burner for a while. I don't know why. I have to be in the right mood to play a bow skill. It's kind of funny. The way I used to see traps back on like normal bench league is kind of how I see bow skills now, except for like there's one exception. Lightning Conduit or whatever, the transfigured version. I love that skill. I think it's Storm Rain of the Conduit or whatever. I love that skill so much. I don't know why, but every other bow skill, I just have to be in the right mood. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And just a reminder about the schedule, there will not be any more videos on Saturdays, probably for the rest of this league, but we'll see how it goes. Just assume for now there won't be any more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.